thing.
We were very excitedly nervous, and my children were sitting there going, "Will Uncle Brucey do it? Will Uncle Brucey do it?" And I tell you, they said his name, and we were jumping around screaming. It was just the fulfillment of a dream that we had been working on for 15 years of playing music together.
Brother Bobby was the first garage rocker of the family. He says never-ending support during the lean years strengthened the Hornsby family.
So many times he says, you know, it'll be great to get the award, but it's really gravy because making music is the first thing for me. But I tell you, it's sweet gravy. It's really great. The judgment of his peers to have him voted for that award, it's just terrific.
To have humility and to be strong and not to roll with the tide of the bad things. There's so many people that want you to do the wrong thing.
The Hornsbys discourage people from saying, "I knew Bruce back when." They say, "You knew him then, you know him now, you'll know him tomorrow."
That's the nice thing, that all of the people here who helped them grow up realized that, you know, they had a part in this.
In Williamsburg, Andy Fox, The Daily News.
And while the celebration continues on the East Coast, the Grammys are already on the shelf out on the West Coast. That's where Les Smith joins us live via satellite tonight. Les, are they still celebrating?
Well, no, as a matter of fact, at least for Bruce Hornsby, this was another day to go right straight back to work. On his schedule today was more time spent with Don Henley trying to put together some songs. And beginning tomorrow, Bruce and the Range will fly out to Texas to continue their nationwide tour. That'll take him up until mid-April. And then in June, he'll start work on his second album after a short break. I asked Bruce yesterday what else is ahead after the Grammy.
Really, this next leg is going to be... We're going to Japan in July for a week with Huey Lewis to play a bunch of stadiums there. And there's a good chance that we're going to play some gigs with the Grateful Dead. That's not totally set, but there's it's pretty close. And that'll be fun for us.
Bruce has got a lot of work ahead of him. If you're looking for that second album, the timing so far, it looks like it'll be early next year. Bruce is headed off to work. We've been working out here for the past few days, but there are some people from Hampton Roads who are not working. They are out here just enjoying themselves.
Colin and Roseanne McNamara of Norfolk have gotten the trip of a lifetime. They won a contest at radio station Z104. That got them tickets to the Grammys and a party afterwards. Roseanne beat out 500 other entries by telling why she wanted to watch Bruce Hornsby win his Grammy.
We wrote, "When Bruce Hornsby wins in Los Angeles, I'm going to carry his Grammy back to his mammy in Old Virginia for the big Zoo-ammy."
It was great. It won it for us.
The McNamaras think Southern California is great, even though it hasn't been much warmer than back home.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's just great. I'd live out here.
Would you?
Oh, yes.
Colin and Roseanne are proof that it's not just Virginia that's for lovers.
Nice couple, and they're having a lot of fun out here. A quick word of thanks before we leave Los Angeles to Bruce and Kathy Hornsby. Photographer Mike Ridge and I really appreciate their hospitality yesterday, inviting us into their home. Thanks to all the people here and to the RCA representative in Virginia Beach, Ron Herbert. He did a great job for us. Terry and Diana, we're going to hop on a plane early in the morning, and we'll see you along about 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
Can't wait to see you. We've really enjoyed your reports. Thank you, Les.
With an R.
Is Dr. Ruth a hit in Gay Paris?
Entertainment Tonight crosses lots of rivers on Wednesday, February 25th, 1987.
Having a good time so far? I think it's a great show.
Hi, everybody. I'm John Tetch.
And I'm Mary Hart. Music patted itself on the back last night at the 29th Annual Grammy Awards in Los Angeles. Steve Winwood's Higher Love was named Best Record. That's What Friends Are For by Burt Bacharach and Carol Bayer Sager was voted Best Song. Paul Simon's Graceland was named Best Album.
The Broadway album by Barbra Streisand won the Female Pop Vocal Grammy. Living in America by James Brown was judged Best Male Rhythm and Blues Vocal. Anita Baker's Rapture won Best Female R&B Vocal. And Bruce Hornsby and the Range were named Best Newcomer of the Year.
The biggest winner of all of them last night, far removed from the world of rock and roll, it was an 82-year-old pianist named Vladimir Horowitz. His studio recordings New York 1985 won 3 Grammys.
So more than anything else, last night was a time to celebrate music in all of its forms. The pictures coming up here depict the music of last year. The music...
Living in America, James Brown.
This is great, y'all. Thank you very much.
Ronnie Mills there. Anita Baker.
It took weeks of preparation to bring the Grammy show together. Each detail was carefully planned. Stars flew into town from around the world. And just as the anticipation was at a crescendo, the skies over Los Angeles opened up. But Lisa Gibbons waited.
Parties the stars took in on Monday night. You might think they'd want to get a little rest following last night's event. But imagine you just won a Grammy and you're the toast of the town. Would you rush back to the hotel for some shut-eye? Neither would the stars.
My folks, oh, they love it. I mean, I think they were watching tonight, and I think they were as excited as I was.
You little mouse.
The kind of
So far, the state of North Carolina has paid Dr. Dell well over $4,000 for his psychological assessment of Thomas Bonney. Tomorrow in
his music backstage with Bruce Hornsby.
You know, I wonder what it's really like on the road. We'll find out in a special report with Frank Graff next. I have to ask the question, ever wonder what it would be like to be a rock performer?
Personally, no, but Bruce Hornsby used to, I'm told. Tonight, Williamsburg's famous music stars in Copenhagen, Denmark, in the midst of a European tour. Last month, Hornsby and company were home in Virginia. Our Frank Graff traveled with the group to sample life on the road. Frank joins us now from the Boathouse live tonight to begin a three-part series. Frank, first question, why the Boathouse?
First question, why the Boathouse? Well, because 2 years ago, August 23rd, 1986 to be exact, Bruce played the Boathouse, performed on that stage right behind me. Like most music acts, Bruce and his band started out playing small clubs. Just like this, they'd haul themselves and their gear from show to show, hoping to get discovered. Well, they're big stars now, and you'd think life would be a little bit easier. But behind the glamorous image is a hard, tedious life.
It's a grueling pace. It's not so sort of glamorous as people make it out to be. It's just the pace of the road. The economics are such that you really have to push it.
The glory of rock stardom is fleeting. The crowds aren't always there. The spotlights aren't always shining.
Too far, up the bump, too far, down. Okay, we're gonna do, I'm gonna go into Bruce's position now, all right?
Stack them up, let the rest of them over there.
Hey, those amps work, bud.
So what I need to do is have that cable towards center.
For Bruce Hornsby in the range, rock stardom lasts roughly 3 hours, the length of a show. The rest of the day is a whirlwind of travel, sound checks, and verifying whether artist and instrument made it through another day.
2, test, yes. Can you give me some bass too?
I think so.
Well, the crews come in, they start at 10 a.m. with the rigging and put up the sound and the lights. Scenery goes up and the band gear comes up about 1 o'clock. They focus the lights, get the sound check ready.
There's very little about a rock and roll show that is small these days. In 2 years of touring, Bruce Hornsby and the Range will perform over 200 shows. It takes 15 tons of equipment to give the audience what they want, 17 people to put it there, and it all costs $60,000 a week to keep it on the road.
We don't have a lot of big production sets and risers and moving trusses, et cetera, et cetera. It's pretty straightforward, and it really depends pretty much on the music. It's Bruce's show.
The road is hard on musician, crew, and gear. For Bruce Hornsby and the Range, whose carefully crafted music is central to their success, the road is especially difficult. For the wear and tear on artist and instrument strike first at the music.
I can feel it pulling, so I'm playing way more than the average. It'll be okay, Bruce, I promise.
Hey, that's right. It's not happening, man. There'll be some changes made.
But we all get along really good, and you have to do that to keep your sanity.
These times away are hard. I mean, the only time I really look forward to is when I'm on the stage.
I guess for the 2.5, 3 hours that we play, you know, there's nothing like that high.
Bruce and the band did get a break at the end of the Virginia tour. They returned from Europe in mid-December, and then in January started a whole nother tour. They head for the West Coast, Australia, and Japan. Terry, back to you.
Always on the road, huh, Frank?
Yes, very.
Well, I'm a Hornsby fan. I've got his first 2 albums. How about album number 3?
Well, the understanding right now is that they'll finish the tour and then head into the studio this summer, or this coming summer, for album number 3. Terry?
Sounds good. A lot of fans are waiting for it. Thanks a lot, Frank. We'll see you tomorrow night.
High technology is a part of our everyday life these days.
And it's true of the music business, especially these days. You just don't hear the artist at a concert anymore. You hear high technology making that artist sound even better. In part 2 of his series, Hornsby, Home at Last, Frank Graff looks at how Bruce Hornsby uses high tech on the road.
What should we play for the camera, boys?
Bruce Hornsby and the Range take a chance with every concert they perform, not only of making a mistake, but that their musical mix of rock, jazz, and country won't sound just right.
Sounds a bit like a barn today.
Working electronic magic with sound is engineer Bob Hickey's job.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2.
It actually should sound like somebody's real voice.
Hickey tweaks the treble and balances the bass to highlight instruments and make Bruce's piano and George's guitar sound in an arena like they do on record.
It's a hard thing to come in one day and understand the problems with the acoustic environment and make adjustments for that. And because you want everyone to hear pretty much the same thing.
Leslie?
Instruments, too, are carefully adjusted. Hornsby still plays the same piano he started with. Electronics enhance the sound, but every show, Paul Johnson rebuilds it and tunes it the old-fashioned way.
A lot of people make comments, oh, it looks too small, or it's this and it's that. Well, Bruce's response to that is basically, well, it's got me this far, and music still sounds good.
Bruce's first concert on the RCA label was 2 years ago at a small bar in Raleigh, North Carolina that stood, not sat, stood 150 people.